Hello there, this is Dr Afaf Mougou with you. I am specialized in cognitive linguistics applied to holy books. And my channel, New Religion, is for your personal and your business growth based on religious values. In this video, I will give you a short introduction to cognitive linguistics. As I said, I am specialized in it, and some of you asked me to explain the basis of it. Cognitive linguistics is very much related with our speech, with our language, It's the study of our language scientifically based on the neurology, all what is known now as the neuroplasticity and the latest discoveries in neurology and in cognitive psychology. So linguistics took a lot of profit from these new studies and renewed the research in linguistics. It's not anymore related to the system of language in itself as closed system, language as abstract system of signs, as de Saussure defined it. And it's not merely symbols that are abstract and module, that is natural and embedded in our brains as Noam Chomsky defined it. Language, it's rather our tool to express our mind. It's an expression, a surface expression of our intellectual and cognitive processes that are very much complex and very much worthwhile to study, so that we can study the one who utilizes language, the mind, not the the product, because the structuralism, the movement of studying language in itself chose to focus on language as system, closed and not related to the context. I will explain cognitive linguistics based on this very much important book. It's very much important book published in 2002. It is entitled The Way We Think, Conceptual Blending and the Mind's Hidden Complexities by Gilles Fauconnier and Mark Turner. So in page 6, I will read from page 6. They say, what is in the armor is not a thing at all, but a potential force. So what does it mean, what is in the armor? They are here comparing between the armor, the armor and the warrior. So the armor is a tool to battle, It's the tool. It's the form that the warrior uses to battle. So in the armor, there is not a thing at all, It's to say that in language there is not a thing at all in itself, but all the power is in the user of the language. It means in our minds. So they say what is in the armor is not a thing at all, but a potential force. Because where is it, the potential force? It's in the warrior, in the in the mind of the warrior. That not matter the circumstances can be unleashed dynamically and imaginatively upon the Trojans to lethal effect. Just so, what is behind form is not a thing at all, but rather the human power. So behind the form is the language as a form is not a thing at all, but rather the human power behind the language as form, as a system. There isn't a thing, behind the armor. There isn't a thing. There is the warrior. There is the mind of the warrior. And behind language, there isn't a thing. There is the mind of us, of the utilizers of the users of language. There is a power, so power of our mind, the human power to construct meanings. It too, no matter the circumstances, can be unleashed dynamically and imaginatively to make sense. So when we understand language, our understanding or the meaning that we get depends on our minds, on our inner power, on our intellectual program, as I explained, spiritual program. The theme of this book is what the form approaches have assumed as given. So in the form approaches, structuralism with the Chomsky, he assumed as given these things, the operations of identity, integration, and imagination. This is the theme of this book. The operations of identity, integration, and imagination. And these weren't studied at all in the formalism, the formalist approach to language. So we have cognitive linguistics focuses on the mind, because the mind is very much related to language. Language is the product of our minds, of our conceptual blendings, of our conceptual operations. And the three eyes of the mind are identity, integration, and imagination. And I always focus on these three components of the mind, three basic bases of the mind, three eyes of the mind. And imagination is very much important to produce language. It's a very important process. It's very important operation to produce language and to think. So they say these operations, basic, mysterious, powerful, complex, and most unconscious, are at the heart of even the simplest possible meanings. We will show that they are the key to the invention of meaning, and that the value of even the simplest forms lies in the complex emergent dynamics they trigger in the imaginative mind. We will argue that these basic operations are more generally the key to both everyday meaning and exceptional human creativity. Surprisingly, but as it turns out crucially, even the most basic forms the chestnuts of the form approaches are prompts for massive imaginative integration. So these three operations are at the heart of even the simplest meaning, simplest form. It's not related only to creative arts, you know, like creative, things that we say, for example, poetry or novels or holy books, the Bible, Quran. No, it's not. These three operations are not related only to the creative language. No, it is in the heart of every meaning we get of our daily speech. Anything you say has in it these operations. Unconsciously, your mind operates by identity, integration, and imagination. For example, if you say, I have a lot of time for you, this is simple. You say it every day, you know. I have a lot of time. I got to save time. I don't want to waste my time. Things like I got to invest in my time. As I always advise in my channel, the best investment, you know, is in your time. These speeches, these things that we say, are emanating of our conceptualization of time. Time is in itself abstract concept. Like God, for example. God is abstract, you know, happiness is abstract, richness is abstract, you know, freedom is abstract. What does it mean, abstract? It means that you can't see happiness on 2 feet, for example. I've never seen it, but I've seen for sure a happy person like me. Or I've never seen time on 2 feet, but I see, for example, that events take time to happen, you know. So these concepts that are abstract need concrete domains to be clarified, needs to be identified, integrated, and needs imagination to be clarified. It's something innate in our brains, you know, in our minds. So what should we do to speak about time, for example? We bring another concept that is concrete, like money, you know. It's money that you save, it's money that you waste, it's money that you have, you know. You have money, that it's money that is precious. My time is precious, you know. So all this applies to money. So what did our mind do to produce these expressions that are multiple? You know, our mind did these three operations, as I said, that are, sorry, that are identity, integration, and imagination. I will explain here. I hope it's clear. So this is a mental space, and this is another mental space. This is the mental space of time. Let's say it's an input, you know, input one. And this is the concrete mental space, which is money. In our minds, there is a connection, hidden connection between both of them. Input one, input two. To clarify time, we gotta have roles emanating from money. So there is a metaphorical projection toward a blended space, which is, you know, the blended space, which is time is money. Time is money. And this is here you'll have, you'll have time is money. It's a blended space. You'll have like a conceptual blending hidden inside your mind, our mind. We are not necessarily conscious of it unless you are a linguist like me and like Mark Turner, or Gilles Fauconnier. So here we are. Even the simplest expressions, like I have time for you, it has in it a conceptual blending hidden in it. That's why when I speak about, for example, religion is a journey in the Bible or in Quran, when we say Sirat al-Mustaqim in Quran, guide Nu, oh Lord, guide Nu to the straight path. The straight path is from the conceptual domain of journey. It's concrete. And religion is abstract, and there is like a blend between both domains, integration, identity, imagination, that produces a blend where there is a religion is a journey, and there are a lot of expressions, a lot of expressions that embodies this conceptual blend. So, in investigating identity, integration, and imagination, we will return repeatedly to certain themes. First, identity, the recognition of identity, sameness, equivalence. A is A, which is taken for granted in form approaches, is in fact a spectacular product of complex, imaginative, unconscious work. Identity and opposition, sameness and difference are apprehensible in consciousness and so have provided a natural beginning place for form approaches. But identity and opposition are finished products provided to consciousness after elaborate work. So sameness and opposition that de Saussure was very much proud of, all the system of language is based upon those two principles, are merely a product, in fact. Product after elaborate work. What is this elaborate work? It's a conceptual blending, They are not primitive starting points cognitively, neurobiologically, or evolutionarily. So we don't have to start with them. They are the finish, something in the consciousness, superficials. But behind them, there is an elaborate work, as Gilles Fauconnier and Mark Turner say. Second, integration. Finding identities and oppositions is part of a much more complicated process of conceptual integration, which has elaborate structural and dynamic properties and operational constraints, but which typically goes entirely unnoticed since it works fast in the backstage of cognition. So integration is very important, It's like it's not noticed on the surface of the language. When we speak, it's not noticed, it's in the surface. But in the backstage, there is all these integrational processes. Like here, when we say I have a lot of money, we don't know necessarily that there is integration behind this, but behind it there is a whole integration system, between domains. Third, last and not least, imagination. Imagination is very much a powerful tool to create reality, as I say. Identity and integration cannot account for meaning and its development without the third eye of the human mind, imagination. Even in the absence of external stimulus, the brain can run imaginative simulations. Some of these are obvious: fictional stories, what-if scenarios, dreams, erotic fantasies. That's why I say always fantasize about your goal in life. Make a vision, for yourself. What do you want in life? Don't interest yourself of the reality. Can it be done or not in the real world? Rather fantasize, imagine. This is very much powerful. But the imaginative processes we detect in these seemingly exceptional cases are in fact always at work in even the simplest construction of meaning. The products of conceptual blending are always imaginative and creative. Identity, integration, and imagination. The mind's three eyes. The mind's three eyes are the subject of this book. It's a very interesting book. I love it so much. So, as I said, our mind is the secret to our language, and it's a gift from God. We have two gifts from God, actually, our mind and our speech, and they are very much interrelated. I'm sure it was useful what I said about cognitive linguistics. It's a short introduction. Thank you so much. Leave any question if you have some inquiry, and see you soon, inshallah. Thank you.